Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing you the second game from this MSL Wildcard tournament. This is going to be Hyuk versus Stats on Triathlon. Triathlon, if you remember from last season, is the map with the, I think it's called Twilight tile set, that like dark blue stuff, and you have the mains at the 12 o'clock position and then like bottom right and bottom left. And you have a back expansion that you can get to with cloaked eggs that you can kind of hop around. So that's this map, that is Triathlon. And hopefully you guys will at least remember it to at least a little bit from last season's very, very entertaining games on here. It was a pretty fun map, I will say that. Some very, very interesting strategies that came up on it. So that's pretty cool. And we saw Cal beat Hero in the first game, and he's going to play the winner of this game between Hyuk and Stats. Now, I gotta say, you have to favor Stats in this. Even though, I mean, Stats is a pretty solid all-around player, and Hyuk, to put it simply, is not. Hyuk is infamous. Cholera especially made him infamous because he is just so bad in pretty much everything. And I'm looking him up. Technically, he has a winning record versus Protoss. I didn't know that he had a winning record versus anything except maybe Zergs. But I just can't imagine him beating Stats. Stats is a solid player, and Hyuk just fails. Hyuk fails a lot. He gets these advantages and just fails. So that's just my guess. I don't know. Didn't actually see this game before I casted it. Yeah, I don't like watching games before I cast, but we will see what he can come up with. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Hyuk is in the bottom left, the Zerg, and Stats is the 12 o'clock Protoss. And Stats has actually been playing pretty well the last season and this season in terms of being a backup for Flash over at KT Rolster. He wins over, I want to say he wins a little over half of his games in Pro League, and even when he plays better players, he can really come away with some wins. And last season he was helping it get to Ace and letting Flash dominate there. This season they need his wins because, well, they don't really you don't need just 2 wins to get to Ace. Now you need 3 because it is best of 7 in the Pro League. So having that kind of depth, having a guy like Stats that you can throw out there in a best of 7 over and over again, week in and week out, is very, very nice for KT. So they got to be happy about that. It looks like Stats is going to go Nexus first here. Going to get that really fast Nexus. Going to go behind his base for that. Now watch out. He's going to have to either blow up those eggs ASAP as soon as, he's gonna have to get a couple of zealots onto his ramp, but then produce a dragoon or something and get rid of those eggs behind his base, so that way he can actually get back there and defend that area, or else he will be very, very vulnerable to Mutalisk. That is one thing about taking those back expansions very early, is you are vulnerable to Mutalisk, you are vulnerable to dropship play, Overlord drops, all those kinds of things you are very, very vulnerable to. So you've got to be very, very careful with that. And I mean, players know this, and he's gonna have a plan, I hope, to defend against that. But he's got to be very, very careful that he doesn't take too much time in blowing up those eggs, or doesn't put enough cannons or something back there, because you can really end up in a world of hurt if you go for that kind of economic strategy and you lose a base without really even forcing a person to try too hard, which I have seen on more than a couple occasions on this map. The Overlord is heading towards the top, so he's going to know that this is there pretty soon. Hyuk will know and be able to respond accordingly. And I really think that as soon as he finds out that Nexus is back there, maybe even before, he might even assume that it's up there, he will go for a Muta build. I would be shocked if he doesn't go for a Muta build. Really. And Lair is morphing right now. Still only 2 hatches up right here for Hyuk, so interesting. Just 2 hatcheries, and now Hyuk does see that Nexus, so we could be seeing like a 2-hatch Muta play, similar to what you see versus Terran. Only he's gonna try it versus Protoss, try and get some Mutas and maybe a pair of Scourges out there as fast as possible to take care of that first Corsair that will be in the air that he's gonna want to get rid of. And Ling's just defending the entrance here. He doesn't want Stats to know. He doesn't want Stats to get into his base and see whether or not he's taking that 3rd base at his back. Because really, at this point, Stats has no idea whether Hyuk is going for a 2-base build or a 3-base build. And I'm sorry, I missed the Hydra's den somehow. So even this isn't a Muta build, it's like a Lurker build. Hydra Lurk build. If it's 2-hatch Hydra, it's just really 2-hatch Hydra. Really. Looks like it might be. We will see very, very shortly if it really is 2-hatch Hydra, which I'm starting to suspect that it will be. He'll be going for that super, super early break, and see how that goes. do have a Stargate up, and the first Corsair should be out pretty shortly. Ling's catching a probe out in the middle and taking it down. But yeah, I mean, Stats has no idea if there's a 2 or 3 they've spilled. So right now, all the advantages are in, well, most of the advantages anyways, are in Hyuk's corner. And we do see that one Dragoon trying to take down that Arbiter, and he's going to try and destroy those eggs so he can go and defend that area. And Hyuk did like a Zerg scatter on his Zerglings. That was kind of cool, just to spread across the map and see if he could maybe find. I guess he was looking to see if there was a any forces out there for Stats, or maybe try and find another probe. But now he's pretty sure that there's nothing there, so he's gonna go just scanning around the map really with those Zerglings. Not a whole lot going on there. And this Corsair is going to get a scout on, going to see a few of the Hydras being produced, and is going to see the Hydras down, and then he's going to go south and see that there's no hatchery down there, so he should throw up a couple of cannons ASAP. He's going to see that there's no hatchery. Now, will he get the cannons up? He should be throwing up cannons. Maybe? Maybe, yes, there it is. There's a couple. There's a cannon already up at the ramp, and a second cannon going up. Maybe he might even throw up a third, I think, if he wants to be very, very careful. Yeah, there's the lurkers coming. I'm looking for an Overlord. I'm thinking that there could very well be an Overlord drop, and I think that's what he's going to use that one Overlord for, that's like at the corner of Stats base. If he can keep that alive, I think we might see an Overlord drop. Obviously, no way to really tell if a layer is upgrading anything, unfortunately, but I would not be surprised at all to see an Overlord drop and just get into that main, dump those lurkers down, and be in good shape. But nope, that Overlord is going to get caught and is going to go down, and these lurkers are probably going to like try and burrow at the bottom of the ramp and try and hit those Zealots, but that's, I don't know if they'll be really all that successful. Looks like that's what he's going to try and do, and get the Zerglings in front to take the cannon fire, and going to try and shoot up with these lurker spines, having some success. Both the cannons do go down, but a lot more cannons actually morphing in behind, and probes coming off the line to try and defend. Here come the lurkers coming in to try and take this down. Now, will any of the cannons get up in time? There's actually only one cannon that's close by, and all the probes go down. The probes just got manhandled. So Hyuk with this two-hatch lurker play looks like he is going to get a victory here, and I think this is GG. I really don't think, yeah, there's no coming back from this. This is over. Two-hatch lurker from Hyuk is going to get the victory, and just like that, not enough cannons. There are only 2 cannons really there to defend. He needed a third or a fourth at least in order to fend that off. So Hyuk's going to go on to face Cal, who probably won't lose to such a strategy. At least I hope not. And Stats is going to head out, and I was wrong. Apparently Hyuk can win in ZVP if he goes 2-hatch lurker. So that's that, and I will see you guys all in the next game. It is going to be Midas versus Roro on Aztec. Yeah, this game was not all that exciting, but it is what it is. I will see you guys all later. Bye.